All right, let's talk about something we all deal with constantly, our digital identity. You know, that little key that gets you into your email, your social media, all that stuff. But what happens when that simple key needs to unlock, well, an entire digital universe? I mean, just stop and think about it for a second. How many logins do you have? Every single app, every service, every website, they all want their own unique login. It feels like our digital keychain is just getting heavier and heavier, right? We're all feeling that password fatigue. But here's the thing, that's just the tip of the iceberg. See, we're heading into a world where it's not just us anymore. We're talking about your smart thermostat at home, a tiny sensor out in a farmer's field, even individual bits of data inside an AI model. Every single one of those things is going to need its own secure, unique address. The number of accounts we have to manage, that's going to look like small potatoes compared to what's coming down the pike. So this huge digital identity problem, well, a tech company named Linkspreed is trying to solve exactly that. They've been building this system they call the Universal Intelligent Identity, or UIID for short. Think of it as a global ID engine designed for this new super connected reality. And this is where it gets interesting, because they just announced something massive, a truly monumental upgrade to their core tech. They've basically rebuilt their whole foundation to get ready for a future that is, well, almost unimaginably huge. They're trying to future-proof the very idea of digital identity. So let's look at the actual numbers. Their core ID, which is kind of like a permanent serial number for a person or a device, that jumped from 96 to 128 bits. Okay, bigger. But the real story here is the alias ID, the one that's more public. That thing, it's skyrocketed from just 44 bits all the way up to 256 bits. And trust me, that jump is almost impossible to wrap your head around. Okay, I know. Bits and bytes can sound pretty abstract. So the big question is, what do these new numbers actually mean? What does going to 128 or 256 bits get you in the real world? Let's try to put this incredible scale into perspective. All right, first up, let's tackle that new 128-bit core ID. This is the new baseline, right? The fundamental address for literally everything in their system. A 128-bit number can create, well, this many unique combinations. That's 340 undecillion. I mean, it's a number so big you can barely even say it, let alone picture it. What it really means is you will never, ever have to worry about running out of addresses, period. So to put that into perspective, try this on for size. You could give a unique, permanent digital ID to every single square millimeter of the Earth's surface. And I mean everything, the land, the oceans, all of it. And you'd still have billions and billions of IDs left over. That's the scale we're talking about. Okay, but believe it or not, that was just the warm-up. Now let's talk about that 256-bit alias ID. Because this is where things go from huge to absolutely astronomical. So the number of unique combinations for a 256-bit ID is, well, it's that. It's a 1 with 77 zeros after it. This number doesn't just make the last one look small. It's playing at a completely different league. We're talking cosmological scales here. I mean, just let that sink in for a moment. There are more possible unique IDs in the system than there are atoms in the entire observable universe. Seriously, they've created a digital space that is, for all practical purposes, as big as physical reality itself. It is absolutely mind-bending. Okay, this is amazing, but it definitely begs the question, why? I mean, why on earth would anyone need a system this big? Is this just some kind of technical show-off, or is there a real practical reason for building a digital space that's basically infinite? Well, the founder and CEO of Linkspreed, a guy named Mark Herdina, puts it really simply. He says, this isn't about today. It's about being ready for tomorrow. And tomorrow's world isn't about millions or even billions of devices. It's about trillions of them. So that so what really boils down to a few key things. You've got the trillion device era, think Internet of Things on steroids. You have complex AI systems that need to track an insane number of data points. They're even talking about supporting a new kind of internet, what they call Web 4, a more intelligent web. And maybe most importantly, it's all about security. See, when your pool of available addresses is this big, the chances of two different things accidentally getting the same ID, that's what tech folks call a collision, it drops to basically zero. And trying to guess one of these IDs, a brute force attack,
It's just computationally impossible. It would take all the computers on Earth longer than the age of the universe. This makes systems built on top of it, like their automated UID 18+ age verification badge, basically unshakable.
So you see, this isn't just another upgrade. This is about laying a whole new foundation for the web. It's an attempt to create a digital identity system that's so solid, so permanent, that it never ever has to be replaced. And I love this quote from the CEO because it really captures the scale of the ambition here. He says the goal is to stop thinking about digital identity as just, a password for a website and start treating it as something as fundamental as physics, something as reliable and permanent as the laws of the universe. And that really leaves us with a fascinating question to chew on. For decades, developers and creators have always had to build around limitations, right? Limited addresses, limited memory, limited space. But if a company like Linkspreed has really, truly removed that ceiling, if they've created a digital world that can literally never run out of room, what comes next? What are we going to build when the canvas is finally infinite?